All right, welcome back, baseball fans, to another elimination video. This is eliminating the Cleveland Indians from the American League North. They just have not been able to turn the corner and find success in a division that's set up perfectly for them to succeed. We're looking at the stats of a 500 squad. They had 257 with a 362 ERA. Those numbers are very respectable. Better pitching, worse hitting than the average of the league. Scored 134 runs, gave up 133. So yeah, that's what you're going to end up with. Lowenstein at 382, and is probably a lone good year in Cleveland. Oscar Gamble was an all-star, hitting 288 with 6 home runs. Rick Manning debuted in center field with 3 stolen bases and a 287 average. Kuiper at second at 273. But kind of a down year for Buddy Bell. Boog Powell did not produce with that 75 card. 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, but he had 2 grand slams in one game. So 10 of the RBIs in the other 32 games. Cliff Johnson didn't work out. And Frank Duffy hitting below the Mendoza line. A lot of good pitching performances are wasted here, as you have 6 guys with ERAs of 330 or below. Jim Kern was added. He was dynamite, not used enough. Same with Ramon Hernandez. I mean, really nice pitchers, but just didn't get enough opportunities for a team that wasn't winning a lot of games. Gaylord Perry was just kind of ordinary, really, with a 331 ERA and a 140 whip. His brother, not much better. Dennis Eckersley also debuted a card. So there was 4 major debuts for the Indians, and they did all right. They did fine. I mean, Manning, Kuiper, Kern, and Eckersley all produced, while the predecessors were kind of middling, and that's a big reason why this team just couldn't turn the corner. So let's take a look now at your Cleveland Indians team here and see. Let's take a look first at the 8 guys from 1973 who have to figure out who to keep, waive, and retire. And there's going to be some guys here that are going to be big decisions. 5 hitters and 3 pitchers. So that's a conventional off-season. That way you're not really short in either hitting or pitching when you're looking to add. So let's take a look now at how they're going to set their. This is the beginning 12 players they have. We'll just put them in there by position. Okay. So they have Cliff Johnson, who's better suited to be a DH or catcher first base, but it's flexible to get him in there with the OPS, homers and walks. Maybe his card can be upgraded. That's another thought. As long as you've got this cat, he'll give you a good year, 1 every 4 years usually, and it's a pretty scary looking card. So maybe that's on the horizon to get him into a better card. Boog Powell doesn't want to move out of a card. This is a condominium. You want to buy a long-term lease with this card. My goodness there, Boog. Yeah, 297, 27 homers, 6 years or 5 years after his MVP. You know what else is crazy? Look at the ground ball bees. This dude couldn't hit into a double play. He kept legging them out. Boo kept sprinting down that line, beating out all these. Look at these ground ball bees. They're all over the place. It's like an epidemic of them. Kuiper, you can get him into a 2 at second base if you want better defense. He won't hit a home run. Duffy's already a 2. You've got some outfielders here. You've got Gamble. What we really like about Gamble as a left-handed batter is that he's better against lefties and righties. He's in the lineup every day. You could even put him in the outfield. He's a E4. 4 minus 24 isn't that bad. Or make him a DH. Rick Manning, you might be able to get him into a better throwing arm and a better batting average. Eventually he'll be a 1. I don't know if he's ready yet. I think this is the best Charlie Spikes card. It's all over here. And it's 22 home runs. With enough home runs against lefties to not be concerned with a lack of a batting average over there. But that's a really nice Charlie Spikes card, and his defense is okay as well. Now the pitching. Well, looks like all the righties are coming back, but none of the lefties. That is a concern, as left-handed pitchers are hard to find. So you have Perry, and Eckersley. Well, that's 3/4 of your rotation. If you had a talented righty in your farm system, you cannot use him unless you get rid of one of these guys. They're not going to get rid of any of these guys. They might trade Jim Perry. They're Indians. Eckersley, of course, is an Indian at the start. Tom Buskey. Well, maybe there's no good righties in their system since they're all here. But you got to replace Fritz Peterson, Tom Hilgendorf, and Ramon Hernandez. Good luck with that. That is going to have to be. You cannot fail with left-handed pitching in this league. You have got to make that the top priority. I would go left-handed pitcher, a hitter, left-handed pitcher if I was drafting this team. My goodness. Well, let's take a look now at the 8 players to see who we keep, waive, and retire. All right. Now we're taking a look at the 8 players from 1973, beginning with Buddy Bell. So in 73, he got an all-star nod, 21-year-old first baseman. And he's steady for the next 4 years. He'll have his best years after he gets traded to Texas, but he's a fine pro at third base for the Indians, you know, so it doesn't matter too much, but we know we're keeping him. That was kind of a no-brainer there. There's not going to be that early trade to Texas or anything like that. So with Buddy Bell, he'll be the $10,000 token keeper designation. And next is Ray Fosse. He wasn't even their property. Maybe the best advantage of that was simply that he wasn't on Oakland. Because we didn't really want Oakland to have a -3 arm catcher, did we? So 73, you see, he got traded to Oakland with this card that we just used. Whoops. So Cleveland decided, and this happens a lot in our carryover league, a team just simply keeps a guy instead of letting him move on right away. I mean, we know baseball history. These teams don't know what's going to happen when they're making their deals. So they hold on to Fosse. And then notice that after that, they're like, okay, that's fine. You can have him now for 74 and 5. He's got a nice 76 back in Cleveland. Now this is really how you game the system here. You subvert the Oakland A's completely and bring your guy back with a 76 card with a 301 average. That's almost like a career Cleveland player, right? And then maybe 77 as well, but I want to keep him. I want to keep him with that 76 card. Didn't think I was going to do it originally, and I don't think he's got a good throwing arm with that card, though. That doesn't really matter. Your other catcher's Cliff Johnson. Any arm's better than Cliff's. So, and maybe you trade Cliff Johnson now that you want to extend Ray Fosse. Next player is Alex Johnson, and he might be near the end of it. Alex Johnson was a Red in the 60s. Big bat, no glove. Philly Cardinal Red Angel. I think he won the batting title, in 1970 for the Angels. He's with Cleveland in 72, then Texas in 73 and 4, and the Yankees. He'll play all the way to 76. He actually has some good numbers, my goodness. He's still hitting 287 in 74, 261 and 268. What are we doing there, Cleveland? We're going to hold on to this guy? I mean, this guy's been hanging on forever. Hey, those numbers are good for batting average, but I know his defense is terrible. His power is 362, slugging's not much. I don't want to say these guys are a dime a dozen, but there's a lot of them. You know? If you can just hit, if you're an outfielder who can't catch the ball and hit like 280, you're not that big a deal. Now, if you were a shortstop who was a 2 and did the same thing, you'd be a star. But I'm kind of on the fence here. Last year he played for Cleveland was 72. Tell you what, if you put him on waivers, he'll be one of the best batting averages on the waiver wire. So that's not a bad gig. Let's put him on waivers for now. Because I think they're going to have to start being concerned with those left-handed pitchers we mentioned earlier. John Lowenstein. He would have his success later in the decade with Baltimore. But he's got an Indians hat there, helmet. 292. Then he turns into a pumpkin for the next 4 years for Cleveland. So this is the interesting scenario a team gets into. They look at this guy who he played for, and you're like, oh, I got to keep him because he played for us. But isn't this the whole point of the expansion of the carryover league? Teams can't protect all their players. So they're basically begging Toronto or Seattle or Vegas or Portland or Arizona or Colorado, please take John Lowenstein off our hands, because he doesn't do a lot with the stick. So I think he's going to waivers as well, and that would be a really nice get for him. So we're going to put Lowenstein on waivers, so he can shop around and find the team he wants the most. Baltimore can go get him. All right, next up is Tovar, who really wasn't all the teams Cesar Tovar played for, Cleveland was not amongst them. Yet he is now. Only played 11 years, but he mixed it up a lot at the end. After a long tenure with Minnesota, you get Philly and Texas and Oakland and the Yankees here at the end. It's all over by 76. In 74, he's hitting 292 with a 731 OPS for the Texas Rangers. These are some good sticks. These are some interesting players. I mean, these are talent. I mean, Alex Johnson, John Lowenstein, and Cesar Tovar have a decent amount of talent. Like, most of the dregs we leave on the waiver retired list aren't very good. But, yeah, they're going to leave him out there as well. And so, yeah, that's going to make the waiver wire look pretty good again. All right, 3 pitchers. Can we get 1 or 2 or 3 of these to come back to the fold? Because we have no lefties whatsoever. Fritz Peterson, a Yankee and an Indian. 73 is a Yankee, and then he goes to Cleveland in 74 and 5 and part of 76. So, yeah, I think you want this 75 Fritz Peterson card. He's 14-8 with a 3.94 ERA. That's good enough. That's stability. Fine. Yeah. If you don't have a lefty at all, yeah, you want that. You got to have somebody. So we're going to take Fritz. Nice. Check 1. That's perfect. Next up, Hilgendorf. I think he was with the Phillies, actually. Got a Cleveland hat here. 2 Cleveland hats. Short career. I thought he had a longer career than that. We use this great card in 73. Oh, this is how you game the system. You take this Philly year in 75. Absolutely do that. This is what you do. You hold on to these guys. Remember we just talked about Ray Fosse. They held on to him. He didn't go to Oakland. They could steal this year away from the Phillies, and then that's it. Then he's done. Then his career's over. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you got to do this. Got to do that. Now Cleveland's being clever. This is what Cleveland needs to start doing. They need to start drafting better and taking control of this division. This division is a silver platter for the Tigers and the Indians. They're no longer in the American League East. They don't have to compete with Baltimore and Boston and the Yankees. They get to start a brand new division. Wipe the slate clean. Remember all those great Cleveland teams in the 50s and 60s that kept losing to the Yankees? My goodness, Cleveland had some amazing pitching staffs in those 2 decades. And, well, the Yankees were the Yankees. And yeah. But anyway, we have Ramon Hernandez as the 8th. He wasn't even an Indian. He might be running out of juice here, too, with the Pirates. Yeah, he's a really good 71, 2, and 3. 74. 74 is still good. Actually, yeah, he has not run out of juice. How about that? Keep him too. You know, in theory, they would like to keep all 8 of these guys. There's not a bum in here. All of these guys might be in the league next year, and one, but not all for Cleveland, of course. I'm making Ramon Hernandez a keeper too, and now they've got a trade chip. It won't be Bell. Might be Fossey. I know what you're thinking, a 301 hitting catcher who actually played for Cleveland. But his defense isn't there. They already have a catcher. But left-handed pitching is where it's at in our league. I'd rather keep the 3 lefties intact. Someone will come calling and ask for left-handed help. Hilgendorf and Hernandez are mostly setup guys. They're not really closers. So they have 2 doing that. They might want to move one of these guys. They will entertain phone calls. I don't think a team's going to call him about Fritz Peterson. But these are the guys here. Because they really weren't Indians. In the spirit of the league, I like to hold on to my Indians, and that would be Bell, Fossey, and Peterson. But these are 2 attractive players, and they're going to be, they are in the league. These guys will probably be in the league. I don't know about Alex Johns because of his bad defense and lack of power. Lowenstein, I think he's got good enough defense and versatility to stay in the league. Tovar's old, but he hits 292. So, yeah. But in any event, this is what we're looking at for Cleveland. It's going to be a big off season for them. They've got to make a move. They've got to make the move to get back to the top of this division. Because it's been forever or never since they've been there. So that's it for eliminating the Cleveland Indians. Hope you're enjoying these kinds of analysis. We'll see you next time.